Hi again, everybody. Welcome on in. We hope that you're having yourself a very good holiday season. Looking forward to being with you throughout 2022, bringing you stories week in and week out. To that end, tonight, so about a year ago, I was approached by some people who said, have you ever seen the legacy, the depth of dominance on the field and off at Brophy College Prep when it comes to their soccer program? And I've seen some from afar, but I never really dove down into it. So we started to peel back the onion. Brandy Aguilar, the executive producer of the piece you're about to see, and Sean McKeskey found not 10, not 20, but 30 people to talk to at great length, at great depths about the dominance on the field and off at Brophy College Prep on the soccer pitch.
I don't think any of us ever wanted to take off that jersey. You'd do anything to put it back on.
You know, you'd been in the program for 4 years. You'd been through all the ups and downs and, you know, seen other guys get injured, or you were in the trainer's room, or, you know, whether it be the good times, the bus trips and the tough matches and meeting up with the hard plays, so supporting each other. That 90 season was special.
The best experience, and you're going to hear this over and over again from anyone from 90 to 92 or even 93, was the COFA game in my junior year. You know, playing against the defending state champion, just an unbelievable experience, going to 11 kickers.
Then I remember the fans, there was maybe 50 or 60 fans at the start of the game, and then by the end of the game there was like 200. I mean, the place was packed.
I think back a little bit and think, you know, not 1 minute, not 1 second did I entertain or think that what we were doing or what we were trying to achieve would lead to or sort of be the seed for what has happened today.
We represented the first star on the jersey, so that was kind of the genesis of the soccer program.
There's one common thread that throughout that program, and it was really, I think, the culture of the school, Brophy, but it was the teachers also that helped live out that culture. And so it started with Paul Micheletti and John Kelly, and has carried forward with the coaches to this day. And I really believe that it is that culture that has created what we have today in Brophy soccer.
I knew Paul with many different hats. First of all, I knew him as a teacher. I knew him as a friend, as a coach, as a mentor, as a visionary, in the sense that Paul began the computer program here at Brophy. He began summer school at Brophy. He was always thinking outside the box. I think Paul was a unique person. And there was a unique circumstance, obviously, that stopped that legacy of going any further. Very tragic, unfair. It just seemed like, why? It wasn't time. So I'm sorry if I get emotional.
Paul cared so much about them. And I got to know them in large part through Paul, where I learned about them. And in fact, it kind of set the stage for how I got to know kids in the future too.
If you were a part of his group, whether it was a student at Brophy or being in his family, he really took care of his loved ones and the people that he cared about a ton. He would vouch and stand behind kids so that they can have a better future for themselves.
I think that the uniqueness of great coaches or great teachers is the ability to connect. And Paul's personality just allowed that to happen. He brought
a unique humor to the field every day, and kind of a sense of joy, expressive joy that was that got us in kind of different places, I think, ready to compete in a way maybe that we didn't think we could.
With Mick, he wasn't a coach. I mean, I've been around multiple coaches, not just as a coach, but as a player, who were not friendly people, who didn't have your best interest at heart, and who didn't really care about winning as much as developing the person. But Mick was more concerned about developing the man instead of developing the player.
He was that one person that you didn't ever want to let down, whether it was a teacher or a coach or somebody along the way. There was always that one person.
And he's one of my motivating factors in life, and somebody that I go back to, no BS, you know. I go back to, you know, in times when you know, stuff happened in your life, and you kind of think about, you know, what would he advise at that time? What would he, you know, tell you to do?
The feeling that he gave you, you know, as a player was that you had to start with yourself. You know, how do you fix the things that you want to be good at, or how do you become a better teammate?
And this was part of the magic of Paul that you're hearing from all the other players, and anyone who had any kind of relationship with him on or off the field. He was a humble guy. He was a smart guy. He knew where his limitations were. And he recognized that, you know, his skills were, he had fantastic skills, but they weren't technical or tactical, right? They were personal. The program, which was always just kind of a okay program, became at that time one of the top 2 programs in the state immediately.
So John Kelly and Paul made such a good balance. You know, John Kelly being, you know, a player at Brophy that also went to Stanford and played, so you could almost see yourself in John. But Paul kind of brought the best out of John. He brought the best out of everybody that he encountered.
And a big part of that, again, was him bringing a guy like John Kelly on and letting him work there. Clearly understanding that John, you know, had a very high level of the game, knowledge of the game, and allowing him to do what he did without ego.
There's a lot of great things about Brophy, but let's be honest, whether it's me, Paul, my brother, or anyone else, it's not the coaching. It's the players, and it's the immense amount of talent Brophy has had. There's always a greater player that comes along, and Brophy's been the benefit of all of them.
Yes, we had talent, and talent always is going to prevail at the end of the day. But I think what kind of put us over the edge and that we had to learn how to win, I think part of that was the fact that we were tough.
I think that was really from like, you know, Paul Micheletti and John Kelly and kind of like, you know, their leadership and kind of bringing us together, and that teamwork and kind of everyone working toward the common goal. Yes, we wanted to win, but more importantly was how we played.
It was the beginning of what is now a national powerhouse in terms of success on the field, and the production of you know, a lot of Division I and now professional players.
I had a vision to expose our program to not just to be in Arizona and face Arizona competition, and that was because I was very heavily involved with club soccer and traveling with Olympic development and being regional staff and doing all sorts of different things with U.S. coaching. And so I said, I want to take the Brophy program to California, and I want to try to hype the program and get people excited about the program and grow the program and take it to another level. As such, Brophy's program and Brophy's physical infrastructure grew as we did as a program. So instead of playing on the old Loyola field out here where we would trudge through the sand and mud at whatever, you know, on a daily basis, we now have this incredible facility. We have this amazing field now, and it's a nationally recognized program as such.
I just wanted to be as good a coach as Mark, really, but also, you know, Mark, I think, changed the program into a sort of a modern program, because at the time we were really fighting with students wanting to play club, and I think he helped make some moves for the program that made us more appealing to those players.
So I think our soccer program has done a really, really good job over the years of taking kids from a variety all over the valley, all kinds of different living circumstances, different club experience, bring them together and say, you know, you're part of this team and you're going to cooperate and build each other up and be successful doing it.
I think what Mark did well was to make sure that egos were constantly pushed to the side so that the team just excelled much better. Oftentimes we coaches would get out there and train with them, and if we're asking it of ourselves, you can't complain that we're asking it of you.
The program experienced some transformations through the years, and it was really exciting to be there at a time where the program was performing very highly and competing for state championships. And a lot of that is good fortune, but also a lot of that is due to the amazing coaching staff and the amazing foundations that some of the previous alumni had set.
And this was the important thing about Brophy. You know, none of them were like training me to be a professional soccer player or anything, but they did, you know, give me the space to develop and explore other sides of myself as a soccer player.
I thought the most important job was the game, but it really wasn't. It was everything else that the kids got. That's what do for a team. And that's what I see is Brophy soccer. I mean, it can be a bus rides from Yuma or, you know, anything like that.
This place has the ability to take yourself in so many different directions other than athletics. You know, in the religious sense, in the service of others. I mean, we could go on and on and on about the opportunities that exist at this place. So that's an easy sell for a great player if they want to come to a place and be great in soccer, but also be a great person.
The thing that I learned, you know, I think from Jesuit education in particular is the ability to articulate my thoughts, my beliefs, my argument, and then defend them, right? And, you know, being able to explain yourself and have justifications for it is a tool that I have used in so many ways, on the field, off the field, as a professional in all aspects of my life, as a parent, right? As a spouse.
I like being back around campus. I love seeing what's become of this campus. It looks far different now than what it looked like when we went there. There's so many more buildings, the athletic facilities, and that gives you a sense of pride as well to see the culture and the school grow in the way that it has.
I think for me it was that opportunity to set a stepping stone to go on to college. Being at an inner city school, there were not many opportunities for me, but I was just very fortunate to land here at Brophy and take advantage of all the opportunities that were available.
I don't believe you can get through Brophy in 4 years and be a slacker. It teaches you how to work hard, and we try to kind of emulate that here on the field. You know, be disciplined, be hardworking, be caring, care about your teammates, care about other people, and I think if people can take those life skills away, not just from soccer, but from Brophy, they're going to be successful.
I would say that Brophy is a lot about development, not only as a player, but as a person. I came to this school thinking that I was going to develop as a soccer player, and I did, but I also developed as a person.
No matter how talented you are as a team, if you don't like each other as individuals, you're not going to work for each other. So that's kind of, I think, kind of Brophy's winning formula when it comes to soccer.
Physical therapist friend of mine got married. I was in the wedding, and I was like, "You can't get married. You can't. This is unacceptable. I've got a game to go to." As soon as the wedding was over, I got my car and drove to the field. And there was a couple injuries during the game that I had to run out in the field to take care of. And so I'm on the field, you know, doing an on-field assessment in my tuxedo, and then of course I'm not going to take it off, and then rushed after the celebration over the reception. And it was great. I think that was a perfect day. It was funny because the next state championship, I wore a tuxedo because There was an expectation, hey, you're going to dress up for these guys. So it was a funny story.
Majority of seniors all say that our retreat up at Manresa is their favorite Brophy time. It's not winning a state title, it's not beating Hamilton, it's that they went up to Manresa and bonded together. That's their favorite soccer memory, and that speaks volumes of what the program's done for kids.
It's those things that happen off the field that you can really see on the field in terms of how close we are, because we've gone through all of that. And then obviously going to Manresa, the retreat center, and just becoming closer with each other, taking our minds off soccer, which is, you know, what our heart beats for really, and just recognizing that we're playing for one purpose, and that's for the greater glory of God and for each other.
And before the game, so we would all huddle around the statue and join arms in prayer. We would read St. Ignatius's prayer for generosity. And it meant so much to us. I think it helped us focus and center ourselves and realize that, you know, this game, this sport, this brotherhood that we've formed is much more than just about going and winning any game. Lord, teach me to be generous. Teach me to serve you as you deserve, to give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heed the wounds, to toil and not to seek for rest, to labor and not to seek reward, except that of knowing that I do your will. Amen. And I think especially that last line, to labor and not to seek reward, I think that's something that really resonates with a lot of Brophy students, where it's all about giving back to the community. And especially as that translates onto a soccer field, it's you're working for your brother next to you.
It's just that entire Brophy experience. You have the AMVG over my shoulder here. It's Latin for the greater glory of God. It's a real thing at Brophy, as is Men for Others. So the entire experience there is about that, being a man for others, servant leadership. And you're being taught some of these other key attributes, whether you realize it or not, throughout your 4 years there.
Selflessness, character, and I would say, I guess, just essentially being a man for others, because it's easy to get caught up in being like, oh, like he's the moment and suddenly something bad happens, I want to react. But then I remember I have AMDG on the back of my shirt, and it kind of just makes you feel like you're playing for something greater than yourself.
It was really focused on developing us into men that were going to serve the community and do well for others. And it was really lived out on a daily basis with the teachers, with the students, the upperclassmen, with the people coming back, the alumni coming back to school, and you just got to see that.
So I definitely think, you know, Brophy's message of service and, you know, commitment to something bigger than yourself is, you know, it's just a good message, you know, for everyone, not just for, you know, Brophy students, but kind of for anyone, you know, to find success in life.
I don't think my biggest accomplishment was like lifting the trophies or anything, but it was what the trophies represented and like the friendships that I made throughout the years.
Those are the memories that, you know, just pop into your head every now and then you get a laugh at, you know, thinking about some of those guys and some of the experiences you had, and you know, it's great. It's was a big part of my life, and was, you know, the state championships were, you know, probably the best, you know, sports experiences of my life for sure, and it's fun to see it going on.
We've been doing something great for a long time, and we want to keep this thing going. It's just, after that, you kind of realize like you're a part of something that's a lot bigger than just playing soccer every day. We're graduating kids to great colleges. We're graduating great players who are going on to have fabulous collegiate and professional and international careers. But more than that, we're graduating young men that are making a difference in the community. And all that soccer stuff aside, that would be what Paul Micheletti would be most proud of. His legacy is what the kids did after they left, not what the team was ranked or how many state titles they won.
It makes me feel very proud to know that him as a leader was able to impact others. And his last words in that accident was to hold on. And so he wanted all of us to hold on, whatever we're going through, whatever adversities we're dealing with. He wanted us to hold on to our books, hold on to whatever careers that we have, and just continue to do the best that we can.
Because we come back knowing that we hung a banner and seeing all the banners now that have been hung, whether it's Gatorade Players of the Year or multiple state championships now, it's always good to know that, you know, we were the first to do it, and we kind of paved the way, and all the kids that come behind us.
Brophy soccer has really stood the test of time, and I feel very, very confident that, you know, yes, you know, my era is kind of like when, you know, kind of where Brophy soccer began, but I believe that, you know, Charlie Cobb and others that are, you know, class of 2021, et cetera, that, you know, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, that they're going to be the ones bringing back, you know, the alumni and basically sharing, you know, the experiences, the memories, and, you know, what Brophy soccer, you know, is in the future.